What's going on YouTube? I got a pretty good topic to talk about today. And it goes like this. So let me set the scenario up for you. You have a spouse. And this particular spouse hates their job. Join the club, by the way. And that spouse hates their job so much that they wake up one day and they tell you, I can no longer do this job. I need to follow my passion, right? They throw it in your lap one day. And then all of a sudden, not only do they tell you that, but then they tell you, I'm no longer working my job. Now, before I go into that scenario, here's the first problem. The spouse that wants to leave their job is talking to a person who probably wants to leave their job too, but is responsible enough to know that they need to keep their job in order to keep things afloat while they're pursuing their passion. So anyways, they're patient and they just listen to this spouse complain how they hate their situation. So what happens is this particular person stops doing the job, the income lowers, and then they go in this pursuit to kind of find their way. And they use a lot of time finding their way. The money's not coming in, so that frustration is always there. Your spouse who's patient is patient, but in the back of their mind thinking, you're freaking nuts. Here I am sacrificing keeping food on the table while you go after your dream, right? And then all of a sudden, it starts to cause a little riffraff because they start to lose respect for you. Because they start thinking, how is it that you can do that and I can't? Because just think, if both of you quit your job, that would really be some financial turmoil right there, right? So she or he is patient. Day after day after day, they come home and they see you just pulling your hair out. Really no direction, no plan, because you didn't quit your job because you had a plan. You quit your job because you wanted to fulfill your dream. But what was the dream? What was the playbook that you put together before you even quit your job? Right? Where was the money that you were supposed to set aside for maybe 4 to 5 years of what you would actually have it, you'd make it your job, to tell your spouse that, hey, this is what I'm going to do to sustain us. I'm going to put this in action to sustain us while I do this. And this is what I'm going to do every day to reach that particular goal that you're going after. But not just to, be a little irresponsible and leave my family just in limbo and hope that we can just make this happen. You see, I'm going to give you the correct way I think should be the best way that you should pursue this. And the best way should be that you work your job, you stop spending time out in those bars and those having fun places, and you put your goal down and you work hard at each day. But you don't go to the point where you just, you'll spend all this time away from your family. If you had a serious goal and you worked toward that goal 1 hour, 1 strong hour a day, I guarantee you'll be far better off than sitting in a home not knowing what you're going to do, not having any plan, and pulling your hair out every day. Because you see, the motivation behind having that job, right, and wanting to leave it one day is much stronger than sitting there, leaving your job, and not knowing what's going to happen. And they're looking at you every day like, did you figure it out today? The next day, did you figure it out today? And the answer is always no. So I'm not saying that there hasn't been any success stories. But all I'm saying, people, is do it the correct way. Do it where you don't risk your family going into a huge financial storm. Don't risk that. Do it in a responsible way and be patient, because one day you will get where you want to go. So this is my little 2 cents on the subject. Let's talk about it. I'm sure somebody who's listening to this is either going through it or has been through it or wants to do this. So, thank you guys for watching this channel. Please subscribe, tell your friends about us, and we're going to keep moving here, folks. You know, I hope that my words is helping some. You know, and if it's not helping some, I hope that the people that disagree with me is causing you to think a little bit. So, like I said, guys, thanks again, and until next time, signing off.